Hey guys, Professional Popper, and I have just made it into gold with this deck, so I decided I would do a deck profile on it and show you the game that got me into gold. So first we got our Code Spell Clerics, a 1-1 with Vigilance. When Code Spell Cleric enters the battlefield, if it was the second spell you cast this turn, put a 1-1 counter on target creature. Pretty basic, ends up being a pretty good combo piece for your first turn or two though. Guiding Voice, put a 1-1 counter on target creature, and Learn. So our lessons over here, we got Environmental Sciences, just in case you get mana screwed. Inkling Summonings, 2-1 flyers, that'll help go over your opponent. Sometimes it'll help you get your second spell effects off. And then Expanded Anatomy. Once you got a board set up, this can just kind of help you close out a game real quick. It's mainly just to give you gas because these white weenie decks have no gas at all and they kind of need it. You're going to end up running out of your hand and it's going to be impossible to cast 2 spells a turn without Guiding Voice or some other card to help you get those added to hand cards. Homestead Courage, this one is awesome for getting your second spell effects off. Put a 1-1 counter on target creature you control. It gains Vigilance until the end of the turn with flashback of 1 planes. So you can just start popping off those second spell effects whenever you want with this card. Monk of the Open Hand, another amazing opener. This is what you want in your starting hand. Is Monk of the Open Hand, 2 of them, and a Code Spell Cleric. I think I had that opening hand in the game I'm going to show you guys, but Flurry of Blows, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a 1-1 counter on Monk of the Open Hand. He grows pretty fast. Usher the Fallen, Boast, 2-1. The Boast is 1 colorless, 1 plains. Create a 1-1 human warrior creature token. Helps you just keep bodies on the field just in case you're going against red or something that has a lot of spot removal, I guess. I've never really used it too much, but it really does help close out games, especially if maybe you're going against another mono white deck and you start drawing into these and that's all you got, but maybe you have 6 mana on the field now because you guys have just been exiling each other's creatures, whatever. It can help you close out a game in certain matchups. Clarion Spirit, 2-2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1-1 white spirit creature token with flying. Helps you get flyers, procs pretty often. You get multiples of these on the field and you can overwhelm very fast. Intrepid Adversary, a 3-1 lifelink. Pretty awesome card, works amazing as a body, but generally you're going to want to cast it as it's with its extra cost on it. When Intrepid Adversary enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 colorless, 1 plains any number of times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, put that many Valor counters on Intrepid Adversary. Creatures you control get 1-1 for each Valor counter on Intrepid Adversary. Really helps closing out games. Don't be afraid to use them as a body, though. The 2 Kabira takedowns, this is where I'm going to have to explain my 62 cards. I was trying to run this deck with 20 basic land, and for some reason I kept getting mana flooded. I would have 4, 5, 6 mana and just not, I've casted 3 spells. So I was getting a little frustrated, tried to just go down to 19, but then I kept getting mana screwed where I could hardly pull out my 3rd mana every game. So I guess what my brain thought of, my very, very smooth brain, was like 19 mana, get some target removal maybe, and I mean, it's going to slow down the deck a little bit, but 19, most of the time you can get that 3 out, just in case you don't, you got removal or an extra plains there. Luminarch Aspirant, at the beginning of combat, on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. There we go. This is a glue to so many white decks. Just get these out as fast as you can and start buffing up the boys. And now this is where I really screwed up. Do not play this card. I really wish I would have replaced it with some other rare cards. It's good to transition into a better mono white deck, but right now I wish I would have either filled out my Brutal Cathars, Elite Spellbinders, or there's a card called Maul of the Skyclave, which I think would have been really, really good to close out some more games. I'm kind of worried about transferring into a different mono white deck at this point, so I might just go for the Mauls of the Skyclave. Who knows? I change my mind very often. This can be helpful. First strike, non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast, but with this deck you have enough non-creature spells to make it worth not running this card. Again, anything's better. Hopeful Initiates are better. Brutal Cathars are better. There are so many better cards in this type of deck profile. Just do not use this. That was my mistake. And then we got the end of the deck, which is basically all removal. Brutal Cathar, 2-2. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield with Daybound. This can be fun if you got all 4 and you start flipping them and you're exiling multiple things, but pretty awesome card, generally speaking. You're going to need it. Elite Spellbinder is probably the removal that you least need, except it works really well as a 3/1 flying body, and you can exile from hand. The opponent will still be able to play it, but it's going to cost him 2 more. And then Skyclave Apparition, a very beautiful removal card. Fuck you, phone. Stop. Sorry about that. When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with mana value of 4 or less. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the mana value of the exiled card. Awesome for getting effects off the field. I mean, use this on, hell, Luminarch Aspirants. I know it's a 3 for 2. They say it's a bad trade, but the fact you can take it off, and even if they get it back, it's just going to be an illusion creature that usually is not that high of a... Well, I mean, obviously the max it can be is 4/4 with no effects. So, awesome card. Get all 4 of these. I would say even take these over your Brutal Cathars if you have to make that decision. However, Brutal Cathar, Skyclave Apparition should be the first ones that you actually max out for your rares. And then our 19 Snow-Covered Plains, which you might want to change to not Snow-Covered Plains. Not sure if you can do that. I just know there's a card where it's an enchantment. All your opponent's snow lands come into play tapped. Cannot remember for the life of me. I haven't been playing Magic for that long again. So, that is the deck profile. I will now show you guys the game that got me into gold. Alright, so here's the game. Let's see, not the greatest opening hand in the world, but it's enough to work with. I would definitely keep this every time if I got it. We'll just open with the open hand. Let's see, so it's going to be a mono-white matchup. You throw a second Plains, and then you got a Code Spell. Make sure you cast that second. I'm going to go ahead, pop that, and then Code Spell. It'll proc Monk, put the 1/1 on Monk, swing out for 4. So, I mean, it's not the worst opener ever, and you have room to make some plays next turn as well. Hopefully draw into another land, because generally 3 is what you want. 4 is amazing. There we go. So another Monk. This is going to be pretty alright then. So we're going to open with Monk so we can make sure we proc it. Alright, and then Guiding Voice so we can get another card in hand just in case. I'm going to go ahead and buff him. I prefer to go wide most of the time instead of deep, but it really depends what you're playing against. Since I saw that they're white, they're probably going to have single target exiles, so I'm definitely going to go wide with them. I know there's a card that's Destroy All Creatures, so, I mean, regardless, if I went wide or deep, that wouldn't matter too much. Definitely take Environmental Sciences, because I've been having troubles getting some land this game. Takes out one of my monks. That's totally fine. He's looking for something else to get rid of here. Maybe. Yep, he's going to Cathar it. Now just pray I get a land. If not, I'm going to have to Environmental Science. Yep, no choice this time. He's going to have to go ahead and grab a land. Pop that land. Maybe get another counter on. This is just so I can attack over. Every point of damage in mono white counts because he knows he doesn't want to get rid of that Cathar. So that's 3 damage. That's pretty good. And then next turn, I'm just going to Skyclave it, get my stuff back. Usher of the Fallen, plus, what else you got? A Luminarch. So it looks like it's getting pretty rough here. He's got field advantage. Okay, another Code Spell. This is pretty awesome. Yeah, I got a Skyclave to get the Cathar back. Or to get my Monk back. However, I guess I decided that was not worth it. Oh, I didn't want him buffing up his Cathar just in case he didn't block. Okay, that would make sense. At least this way I can block it and still kind of have a chance to get rid of it. And then Intrepid Adversary. He's going to start beefcaking his boys a little bit here. Alright, and doesn't do anything. Okay, 4th land. Now this is awesome, awesome, awesome. Because we're just going to use our own Intrepid Adversary now. Kind of match his energy. And pay my costs. There we go. Looking pretty good. Can't really risk anything right now. Not too worth it, but my next turn should get me into it, depending what he has. Yeah, okay. Totally fine. Nope, no swings, no swings. And see, this is where Maul the Skyclave would be awesome to throw on Intrepid Adversary. you gain life, you stabilize, and he's a pretty hefty flyer. Get a lot of damage through. Anyways, we're going to proc a code spell with the Luminarch. Now I'm deciding I have to go deep, right? Because I need something that can just go over his creatures, or at least force him to make a decision. I'm going to go ahead. He gave me a nice clue. I'm going to sack it, get myself a card, into another code spell, another 1/1 from Luminarch. Let's go deep on code spell, I believe. Yeah, this is the decision making. Nope, I went wide again. Oh, it was so. Okay. If you can, I might just voice this part back over again. That was the best way I could make him make decisions to clear his board, at least enough for me to get damage through. Because I do not care if he gets that back. It's just going to be an illusion. All right, what do you got? What are you throwing at me? It's like, I feel pretty comfortable. I have 26 health now. He's got 10. Like, if this comes card for card, as long as he doesn't... I mean, even if he had the destroy all creatures, we'd just be at ground zero again. So, still feeling very comfortable with this. Got 2 Luminarchs out now. Proccing another code spell. And at this point, I think the game is basically over. There's not too much he could do. Unless he just keeps drawing, maybe... just keeps going into Brutal Cathars. Maybe. And then starts flipping them and doing crazy stuff. I guess that could be a way out. Here's me really deciding how deep I want to go or how wide I want to go. But the big boy right there, I should have just thrown both on that and attacked out with it. But it was just in case something crazy like this happened, I guess. And he's just creating more bodies. Oh yeah, I have Vigilance, so he actually couldn't destroy it. Man, analyzing your own games is kind of interesting. And that should just be a kill. Yep, everything's going. And I'm alright with a 3-for-1 trade because I have 2 Luminarchs on. I'm just going to keep buffing up regardless. And now he gets a second exile. Getting pretty bad here. And I think I get really lucky on this top deck. I mean, really lucky. I've only drawn into one of my removals. So there's still, 5 sitting there? Like, maybe 6? I don't remember my own deck. I told you I was bad at Magic, right? Right. And then drops an enchantment that's really not going to matter at all. And there it is. Skyclave. End of the game. Good job, my boy. Boom. Alright, let's go. Do that. I'm just going to pop his Wandering... Whatchamaffuck? The Wandering Emperor. And again, I don't think there's too much he could do at this point. Unless he has that one-off of destroy everything. It's not going to do much. There we go. There's the forfeit. Victory. And let's watch the rank up. Endorphins. Awesome. Alright, guys. Well, I'll probably be back once I hit plat. So, until next time, have fun.